Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the hangar at Macomb High School as the Macomb High Bombers get ready to face off against the Farmington Farmers. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Kyle Little up on the camera, and Kelly Sears will be back alongside for tonight's call here as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, as Mr. Horrell's about ready to do the starting lineups and the national anthem and so on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Prairie Land Conference basketball game between the visiting Farmers of Farmington High School and your Macomb High Bombers.
Getting ready for the national anthem here. They're having a little audio issue, so we're going to take a break and we'll be back for the starting lineups.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts, repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology.
And we are back. Gage Rankin going to be one of the starters for the Farmers, number 3. Kyle Litchfield, number 4.
Number 14, Caden Runyon.
Caden Runyon, number 14. He's a senior. All 3 seniors so far. Logan Morse, another senior.
Number 24, Keontre Barnes.
Keontre Barnes is the only non-senior to start for the Farmers.
And now for the Bombers, number 1, senior Connor Watson.
Connor Watson.
A junior, number 3, JT Jeter.
JT Jeter in the starting lineup tonight for the first time this
Number
year.
13, senior Langdon Allen.
Langdon Allen, number 13 in the starting lineup.
Number 20, senior Nolan Kerr.
Nolan Kerr. He is the
Senior, number 24,
Jack Duncan, number 24.
The Bombers are coached by Mr. Jeremy.
A little different starting lineup tonight for the Bombers, as
Tonight's officials are Ted Johnson,
Ian Case not in the starting lineup tonight.
Maybe tonight they're going to try to get out and run with it a little bit.
They might just do that. That's kind of the feel they've got on there. They played with this group quite a bit, though, the other night. Very small lineup. Other than Barnes for the Farmers, they don't have a whole lot of height either. So it's kind of a matchup kind of deal here for the for the Bombers against the Farmers, I should say, as we are underway, and the Farmers win the tip. And we are good to go with the first possession of the Farmers and the Bombers here from Macomb High School, and it's noticeably louder in here now, Kelly, than it was for the Fresh Soft game.
Oh, without a doubt.
Student section, cheerleaders, they're all here for this one, and they're going to have some fun driving with the basketball and backing it out is Litchfield. He gives it off to Runyon. Runyon now to Barnes. Keontre Barnes gives it off to Morse. Morse is going to try and drive on Kerr. Can't get anywhere on him. Now it's going to be Rankin with the shot. It's off, no good. Duncan with the rebound for the Bombers. Back the other way they go. Connor Watson, who we talked about off camera or off air with his parents, that he didn't shoot real good against Quincy Notre Dame. He switched his shoes, so everything should be good tonight, right?
Yep.
And a pass nearly stolen away. Zone defense here, it would appear. 2-3. Watson with it. 6:50 remaining in the first quarter. Duncan with it down low. Out to Nolan Kerr for three. It's off, no good. Watson's going to track it down in the corner. And Bombers will reset the offense. Nolan Kerr led the team with 14 points against QND in the losing effort. Kerr, left side. Three on the way by Langdon. Allen is off the front of the rim, no good. Rinkin with the rebound. Outlets it to Litchfield, and he's cut off by Duncan, and now the Farmers will set the offense. Still no score in this one, 6:18 to go. Barnes got the rebound and put it back in. There was all kinds of contact down there. JT Jeter was all over Barnes, and no foul call, but Barnes fought through it and got the bucket to fall. 6 minutes remaining. Langdon Allen down to Duncan. Skips it across to Watson. Watson won't take the NBA three and thinks better of it. Extended, man, this 2-3 is really extended, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
JT Jeter pass to Langdon Allen. Langdon's going to get it to Kerr. Kerr now back to Langdon Allen. He's going to drive this time. Dump it out, Watson for three. Off, no good. Barnes tips it to Rankin, and back the other way. The Farmers go with the basketball. Litchfield on the dribble. Kerr cuts him off, but he gets to the basket. Kerr's going to get called for the block. First foul on Kerr, first on the Bombers. Into, who is that over there? Number 22. That's Morris. Haven't called his name a whole lot tonight yet. Litchfield guarded by Watson. Now Rankin with Duncan on him. Down to Barnes. JT Jeter guarding him. Jeter forces Barnes into a fadeaway. It's off, no good. Langdon Allen with the rebound, and he'll take it back the other way. Gives it, no, I thought he was going to give it off to Watson. He did not. Nolan Kerr, right wing now. Nolan Kerr, I was going to say earlier, is the Tri-State Sports Report Bites Athlete of the Week this week after scoring 14 against QND, but more for defense, which isn't a stat that you can see, Kelly, but Kerr's going to drive, and shots blocked by Barnes. And stepping on the baseline was Rankin out of bounds, possession to the Bombers. Defense is, you know, it's like MVPs and stuff never come from the defense because it's a hard stat line to show, right? Duncan, shots off, no good. But you can't, I mean, what he does defensively for this Bomber squad is really, really, really important.
Yeah, plays hard, and that comes along with defense. You know, you're talking about defense. Can you tell me the only Heisman Trophy player to ever win the Heisman that was a defensive player?
I cannot.
Charles Woodson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but he did some offense too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And there is Morse with the bucket. He didn't do a lot, but he was a defensive player, but
and a return specialist.
Yeah. Michigan, right?
Yep.
Langdon Allen, left side. That was Kerr. Now Kerr left wing. He looks at the three, doesn't take it. Goes to Jeter. Jeter now skips it out to Kerr. Kerr three left wing. Good. A sports corner three for Nolan Kerr. And I'll tell you what, the Bombers have been looking, Kelly, for somebody else to score some points. And if Nolan Kerr can become that 12 to 15 point per game kind of guy, this team's going to be pretty good.
You're exactly right.
Watson with the steal, missed the layup. He might have got a little bump from behind there. Morse goes back the other way. His finger roll is good. But if they can find that 12 to 15 point consistent scorer, this team is going to be trouble for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Mostly because of their defense. I mean, they don't need to score 70 points to win.
The biggest thing is they just don't have that big guy in the post.
Pass stolen away. Morse comes to Litchfield for three. It's in and out, no good. Barnes over the top of Jeter. Falls down, three on the way. That is number 14, Caden Runyon with the three. And it's a 9-3 lead for the Farmers. Timeout charged to the Bombers. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here and tell you that this game being brought to you by Midwest Ice. Do you need ice for an upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today. And Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Well, Kelly, the Bombers have had looks. They're just not getting shots to fall right now.
Yeah, like Watson missing that layup. Things that you don't see a lot.
Right. So here we go. Watson brings it up the floor with 2:35 remaining in the first quarter. 9-3. Farmers with the lead. And it's kind of funny, to me, because when you think zone, at least whenever I've played zone, it's because the other team had big guys, and they're playing a zone that everybody's to the baseline of the volleyball court pretty much. Jack Duncan's jumper is good. His first two. But what their 2-3 is out past the top of the three-point line at the top, and then to the baseline of the volleyball court.
But Macomb doesn't have a post player. Connor Watson was inside playing post a second ago.
Litchfield jumper for three was off, no good. Duncan with the rebound. He's going to have his pass tipped. Langdon Allen's going to come get it. 1:48 remaining. Watson with it. Three on the way. Watson, a sports corner tray for Connor Watson. And the Bombers are within one, 9-8. Barnes with Jeter guarding him. And Kerr went to knock it away. He did. And then Jeter's going to block the shot of Morse. Watson comes up with it. And a chance for the Bombers to take the lead here. Watson's telling Langdon Allen to go other side. Langdon Allen says, "You're supposed to be up top." And looked like Duncan thought somebody was cutting to the basket or supposed to be.
I think he thought Jeter was going to be cut to the basket.
They complete passes like that all the time on the football field. A little different on the basketball court, it would appear. Zach Taylor checking in for the Farmers. Jake Hobson checking in for the Bombers. Morris having a hard time getting it in. He's finally going to get it into Runyon. It's Taylor going to be picked up by Watson. Barnes still in. And also in is number 33. That is Chandler Weisenand. Jeter gets the steal. Nolan Kerr comes up, but he's got Langdon Allen ahead, but Farmers did a good job. Connor Watson, left wing, three off, no good. Hobson's going to get called for the foul as he went over the top.
He was on the back, wasn't he?
He did. I guess technically you can go over, you just can't go on, right?
Well, as long as you don't touch him, you're okay.
37 seconds left here in the first quarter. Morris with it. That is Runyon, excuse me. Morris going to drive. Hobson steps in, and Morris kind of, I think he wasn't really planning on shooting that maybe. He got up in the air, and Hobson left and covered the guy he was going to pass to and just had to throw it at the rim. 10 seconds remaining.
He got up in the air and didn't know what to do with the ball, so he shot it and it went in.
Sometimes just throwing it at the rim is the good thing to do, right? Watson, step back three. It's off, no good. And that's how the first quarter is going to come to an end. The Bombers trail the Farmers 11-8. We'll take a break and be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
And welcome back to Macomb High School as the Bomber cheerleaders are on the floor. Get Kelly back under the headset. Had to eat. Is the popcorn still good when it cools off?
Still good.
Still good?
Just like getting it in that big bag, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought warm popcorn was better than cold popcorn, but cold popcorn's still good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's usually all they got at racetracks, cold popcorn.
Exactly. So we'll go to quarter number 2. Bombers have 2 fouls. Farmers have 0 fouls. It's 11-8 as quarter number 2 tips off. Jeter to Kerr. Kerr has 3, Duncan has 3, and Duncan has 2, Watson has 3. Kerr turn around from the baseline, rattles it around and falls in. Nolan Kerr has 5.
He's really came into his own in the last few weeks.
Yes, he has. And he's looking for his shot now. It started the season, he really wasn't looking to score. I feel like he's looking to score now, and it's really helping the Bombers as a whole when he's on the floor.
Without a doubt.
Wisenend is in again, number 33. Taylor, number 11. Barnes. Looks like Jeter's just out to spell Barnes. Wisenend is going to get the bucket. It's funny that they have Jeter guarding Barnes. Now it's a man-to-man for the Farmers now. But Jeter gives up a solid 5 or 6 inches to Barnes. Langdon Allen 3, right corner, short, and Barnes goes high for the rebound and pushes it down the other way for the Farmers. Morris for 3, it's off, no good. Kerr with the rebound. That's the definition of a perfect box out, right? When you can box your guy out and let the ball hit the floor in front of you and you can pick it up.
Exactly right. Did a very nice job.
There's Kerr again. His jumper this time's hard off the glass, no good. Good idea on the bank shot, just misjudged the angle a little bit as he was fading away. Wisenand. I think it's Wisenand or Wisenand.
Well, as I look here, Wisenand.
Wisenand, okay.
I would say.
Taylor, pull up free throw line, doesn't get anything but a little bit of net. Jeter had the rebound or caught the pass, for lack of a better term. Gave it to Watson, who nearly let it go out of bounds because he wasn't looking for it. 5:40 to go in the first half. Watson. Now Langdon Allen. Oh, man, in and out. Three on the way by Taylor, off no good. Watson with the rebound. Watson. Kerr gets the finger roll.
Nice move by Nolan Kerr.
Hobson just gave Taylor a forearm shiver. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Away from the ball. Barnes for 3. Nailed it. Keontre Barnes hits the 3. 16-12. 4:15 remaining in the first half. Jeter to Langdon Allen. Now Kerr with it. Down to Jeter. Back to Watson. Kerr. Watson. 4 minutes remaining. Halfway through quarter number 2. I don't see Ian Case on the bench tonight.
No, I don't either.
Nolan Kerr tried to lean against the defender, and the defender did the Olay move on him, and he wasn't in a position to put the ball down soon enough. Traveling violation, 3:47 to go. Jack Duncan checks in. Hobson checks out. Litchfield with the basketball. In the game is Ryan Barton. Litchfield's going to try and drive. Dumps it out to Keontre Barnes for 3. It's off, no good. Wizenen had the rebound. Stripped away by Duncan and friends. Watson comes down with it. Watson's going to dribble right into a double team in the corner. He's going to skip it across. Kerr, Jeter, back to Kerr. Kerr pump fakes and goes to the rack. Another 2 for Kerr.
11 on the night for Kerr. They got him for 9. Oh.
You got 16 points total?
Yeah, I got him for 9. I marked a second quarter point in the first quarter column.
Gotcha.
Rookie
I hate it when that happens. Kerr nearly with a steal as he knocked it away from Barton, but couldn't quite keep the ball in bounds. 2:44 to go. Bombers trail by 2 here in the first half. Second quarter action for Macomb High School. This is Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb Bomber Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Keontre Barnes hands it off to Morse. Morse on the pass to Barton, picked up by Watson. Keontre Barnes still has Jeter on him. Kerr out guarding Morris. Now a pick coming from Barnes. Stolen away. You know, that's the thing, is it isn't always Kerr getting the steal on his defense, but he's got the guy and there's a pass from Kerr knocked away by Morris, but he gets the offensive player so mentally challenged to try to get by him that somebody else just comes in and swipes it away from him.
Yeah, he does an excellent job. And like I said, his play has elevated in the last couple weeks.
Jeter now at the point for the Bombers. Gives it off to Watson. Now up top, Langdon Allen. Jeter to Watson. And a travel is going to be called.
Little late whistle, but you knew it was coming.
Yeah. Yeah, Watson didn't think he did, but he did shuffled and then stopped.
I thought he did. But I'm not an official. But
yeah, right.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
You did?
Yeah. Probably be staying at one this weekend.
And a 30-second timeout charged to the Bombers. This game being brought to you today by the Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also download PDF files of the Monday and Wednesday editions at their website for subscribers. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blanditsville, and, of course, Macomb. And M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call M&B Furniture at 309-772-2111. Pretty good student section here tonight.
Yeah, big crowd. Nice crowd tonight.
Of course, they stand up in front of the bleachers, and probably the people in the first 6 rows can't see behind them.
Then they need to move.
The kids or the people?
It's about the kids.
Litchfield with it. Litchfield finally going to find his way to the basket as he worked his way around Watson. 18-14. 1:20 remaining. Not a whole lot of offense in either one of these quarters. 7 points for, and a 3 on the way for Watson's off no good. Duncan and Barnes. It's going to be Langdon Allen for 3. It's Sports Corner 3 for Langdon Allen. 18-17. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Offense is coming a premium. It was 11-8 at the end of the first quarter. Well, that's a foul, isn't it? If you push off like that.
I think he got whacked pretty good before he decided to.
Kerr, Sports Corner 3. Nolan Kerr is feeling it, and a Bombers lead for the first time, 20-18. And a timeout on the floor. Charge to the Farmers. It's a 30-second timeout. Their first.
12 points for Nolan Kerr.
32.3 seconds remaining in the first half. Now, I know you get 5 timeouts, and odds are you're probably not going to use 5 timeouts. Is that Kennedy Adair?
Yeah.
And who's out there with her?
I'm not sure.
Doing a little bowling or something there. I'm not really sure what they were doing out there, but 32 point. What I was saying, I know 5 timeouts is a lot to have in a half. You're probably not going to use 5 timeouts no matter how the game turns out. But with 32.3 seconds left, I don't.
Well, the biggest thing is if you got the timeouts, you can go ahead and use them because of the fact that I would rather go in tied or up 1 than down 5 or 4.
Which it could happen in the last 30 seconds, right?
Yes.
25 seconds, and I get that. I guess I'm a faith kind of guy, kind of, and I'm like, surely my team can hold the ball for 25 seconds or whatever, you know what I mean?
25 seconds, a long time.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Taylor to Morse with 6 seconds remaining, down to Rankin. Barnes on the baseline fadeaway, off no good. Langdon Allen going to do a 3/4 court shot. It's close.
Oh.
Off left just a little bit. And the Bombers, after trailing nearly the entire first half, come back and take a 2-point lead, 20-18 at the halfway point over the Farmers. This one's setting up to be a good one down the stretch. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with some halftime stats in just a couple minutes on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. You're watching Arnold Brothers coverage of Macomb Bomber Sports.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students, MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but everywhere. Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not. Correct. I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably.
Yes.
But the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner. become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably places, specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call
in
our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
And welcome back here to the hangar at Macomb High School. As Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR. Game Time Live. Second half action getting ready to come your way. And as we get ready to go, Kelly, you got some stats from the first half? I got you turned down.
Got me turned up. Watson had 3. That would be Connor. Langdon Allen had 3. Nolan Kerr had 12. Jack Duncan had 2 for the Bombers. Litchfield had 2 for the Farmers. Runyon 3. Moy 6. Barnes 5. And Wisen had 3.
That's Litchfield with it, picked up by Watson. So that's the thing. The Bombers didn't shoot very well early in the game, but their defense is just so good that Farmington wasn't able to score many points either.
No, you're absolutely right. And actually, they shut the middle down quite a bit for Barnes.
Barnes actually had to step out and shoot a couple threes. Jeter's doing a good job on him. Fadeaway jumper, baseline. Duncan with the rebound. And he's going to push it back the other way. It's funny, I was talking to Rob Jeter in the TSSR Weekly last Wednesday night at the Sports Corner, and he was talking about how quarterbacks are really good that are good athletes are really good to have, even if they're not. There's a great reverse layup. Even if basketball isn't their main sport, right? Like Duncan, basketball is probably his third sport even. But he said he's so useful on the court, even if it's not his best sport, because quarterbacks tend to be so smart.
Yep, I agree with him 100%.
And Duncan knocks that one away as we talk about him. But he said, when he was coaching D3, D2, he'd always look for multi-sport athletes, really liked football players and especially quarterbacks. Which
and that is starting to be, nice
Morse
move.
Gets the bucket.
That's starting to be few and far between anymore. 3 sport athletes.
2 sport athletes almost. And there's Barnes is going to get a little hand to the back of JT Jeter.
Which is sad because my feeling is, hey, you're an athlete, you play all 3.
Well,
and we don't care what 3 they are.
You know, and I quit playing stuff in high school. I loved sports. I quit playing stuff because I knew I wasn't going to be a professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I focused on other stuff, and the other stuff I focused on helped me a bunch. And they're going to try an alley-oop. I thought Morse gets the bucket. Barnes wanted the alley-oop, but these so many kids and so many parents, they say, okay, my kid is better. His best sport, 3 on the way by Langdon Allen is off, no good. And it tipped by Kerr, picked up by Langdon Allen, short. And that was rebounded by Rankin. But they say, his best sport is basketball. So all we're going to let him play is basketball. We're going to travel all over God's green earth playing basketball, and he's going to do individual skill drills in basketball. And guess what? Barnes shots off, no good, gets his own rebound, and put back is good. Guess what? He's still not going to be anything. You know what I mean? 80% of them or 90% of them are that way, right? Meanwhile, he's spending all his time by himself, only playing with whoever, when he could be having great memories with his friends from high school.
You're absolutely right. And what a lot of people don't understand is that every sport works different muscles. So when you do the same sport all the time,
Duncan puts up the shots off, no good.
Your muscle memory's different. And, that's an argument that you get in and you see on Twitter and Facebook, and if you're on TikTok and everything, they all talk about all that. But, hey, you're a small school athlete. Enjoy it while you can.
Well, we could talk about that kind of stuff forever, but I don't think in this day and age that's going to change. Oh, nice pass, Jeter to Duncan, and Duncan finishes.
Jack Duncan came to play in the third quarter.
Yes, he has. He's got 6 all here, or 4 of them here in the third quarter, I guess. He did have 2 at the end of the first half. Keontre Barnes is they're trying to do everything they can to get the ball in his hands, and Jeter is just doing a really good job, and then a little help. And now he's got a 3 on the way, but Barnes gets the tip back and up and in on the miss as he spun around and got good position on Jeter that time. So I was trying to give Jeter some props there.
I think he ended up with 9 right now.
And Duncan another 2. Tied at 26 now. .356 remaining in the third quarter. Ooh.
Man, that's a little ticky-tacky on for me.
Jeter gets the foul. Here's my thing about that, and I understand it's a tough position for the officials, but if the offensive player is going to lean back that much, and Jeter gets another foul. If the offensive player is going to lean back that much and create the contact, what's the defensive player supposed to do? He's got to protect himself a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And push back. Otherwise, the offensive player just back him down and put a layup in.
Well, post up, belly up to him.
Well, that's what, I don't know if Jeter maybe was pushing a little bit, but free throw for Barnes gets him into double figures. 27-26, Farmers with the lead. He makes the second.
Those were the first 2 free throws for Farmington all night.
Langdon Allen shot in and out. Kerr with the steal with a little help from Langdon Allen. And here's somebody say slow down a little bit. Kerr, basket is good. We're back tied at 28. Watson with a steal. JT Jeter has it. He's going to go to the rack. His shot's up. Counted, and a foul. JT Jeter gets the bucket, and Litchfield's going to get the foul for the Farmers. Their second.
Jeter's first 2 points of the night with a strong move to the bucket.
And what are we waiting on? Litchfield's going to go out, I guess, slowly. Oh, tying shoe. Barnes is tying his shoe. Everybody at home is like, it's right there on the screen. Why aren't you watching it? Jeter's free throw is good. And the Bombers lead by 3, 31-28. Morse with it with 3:13 to go. Taylor. No, that's not Taylor. It's Runyon, excuse me. Barnes. Langdon Allen tried to get the steal from Runyon. Back to Barnes. Barnes step back 3. It's off no good. Watson with the rebound for the Bombers. 2:53 remaining here in the third quarter. Bombers looking to build on a 3-point lead. Duncan dribbles it off his foot. Watson comes to get it. He goes to Kerr. Back to Watson as they set up the offense. Duncan, right wing. Look to Allen. Up top, Jeter. Jeter for 3. Top of the key. Nails it. A sports corner 3 for JT Jeter. And suddenly JT Jeter comes alive offensively. And a timeout's going to be called by the Farmers. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break as well, as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling is bringing Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Welcome back to Macomb High School as the Bombers are on the screen as we speak, and they are on a 8-0 run right now, or a 6-0 run. 6-0 run.
6-0 run.
6-0 run right now. No, it would be 8-0 because they were down 28-26.
Yep.
So it would be a 8-0 run right now as they lead by 6, 34-28, thanks to an old-fashioned three-point play by JT Jeter and then a 3 from the top of the key, nailed it dead center. And the Bombers are on a roll. It was Nolan Kerr, I believe, that tied it up a little bit earlier.
Kerr with 14 on the night.
Leading the way for both teams, actually. He's got a game-high 14. Langdon Allen knocks that one out of bounds. 2:22 remaining in the third quarter. Inbounded to Morse. Morse drives, puts up the runner. It's off, no good. Wiesen with the rebound. And how'd that not go in? Hit about every point of the rim. Barnes is out of the game for the first time. It's the first time Barnes has sat down. Kerr, pump fake. Langdon Allen, pump fake. He's going to drive. His floater's off, no good. Rebound tipped around. Duncan's on the floor with it. It's going to be a jump ball.
I can't Langdon Allen going out of the ball game with a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, he got rolled up on a little bit there. See what he does on the far side. Is he maybe a cramp? And inbound play, JT Jeter gets the bucket. He scored 8 straight for the Bombers. He didn't have any points until about the 3-minute mark of this quarter. He scored 8 straight. Wisenen gives it to Morse. Barnes back in the game. Braden Holdhouse is in as well. He came in for Langdon Allen. Taylor to Barnes. One Holdhouse nearly with a steal. He knocked it out of bounds. Off the Macomb Bombers sign over there. Morse gives it to Runyon, down to Barnes. Barnes is double teamed on the baseline. He throws it up, and Taylor's going to try and save it. He does. Watson could have had it but missed it. And it's Farmers basketball. That's good hustle by Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know how Watson missed it.
I think didn't think he was going to get there. I think he kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, there's no way he's going to get to that. Oh, crap, he did. Morse, the runner's off no good. But the Farmers get another rebound. Holdhouse saw it coming. That's a long three, and it's going to bounce around and fall off. Watson with a steal. 32 seconds, or with the rebound, 32 seconds remaining. Down to 9. Is that what I just heard?
Yeah.
Watson's going to be on the dribble. Well, that's not a good spot to pick up the ball. Duncan, 12 seconds. Gives it off to Holdhouse. Braden Holdhouse on the dribble with 9 seconds. Comes to Duncan. To Jeter. No, Duncan's going to fake and go right to the rim. Fake the handoff and gets the layup almost at the buzzer. And the Bombers on a 12-0 run to end the third quarter take a 10-point lead as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling bringing Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Dwayne Hulett, Kelly Sears with you. And Kelly, the Bombers have started every quarter slow, but they finished every quarter pretty well. The first quarter was their weakest of the three thus far, but they finished the second quarter really well. They finished the third quarter even better. Maybe they could just start this fourth quarter a little better where they left off and put this thing away.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I will tell you, the pickup in the third quarter was the play of Jack Duncan and JT Jeter, and Jeter was silent in the first half except for his defensive play. Boom, he woke up in the third quarter.
There's Litchfield, gives it to Barnes. Well, what was that screaming all about? Did I miss something there? Three on the way is good. It's Rankin with the three and makes a 10-point lead a 7-point lead as they go into the press. Kerr with it now. Duncan picked up by Rankin. Picks up his dribble. Going to give it to Jeter. Jeter dumps it out to Duncan, and Jeter gets called for the travel. Jump stop and a spin is not legal.
Euro step.
Yeah, Euro step doesn't include the jump stop, though. That's the difference. You jump stop with both feet, you're supposedly not supposed to. Oh, Jeter, great job as Barnes thought he had him beat back door. Duncan to the rack, off no good, but the foul's going to be called on Caden Runyon, number 14. And Connor Watson is going to be shooting 2 free throws for the Bombers. 3 fouls now on the Farmers. Connor Watson misses that one. Well, it's not going to – we can't say it's the shoes anymore.
No.
Very, very uncharacteristically, Watson is not shooting the ball well. It's I don't know if he's tired or he's just leaving everything short, it seems like. As a basketball coach, he's playing good defense, though. He got a steal there.
The thing that so many people don't realize that they're high school kids. There's so many things going on in their lives.
Langdon Allen to Duncan. Duncan has it swiped away by Rankin. I think Langdon Allen could have made a shot there, and Duncan really wasn't expecting to pass. There's a 3 attempt, off no good. Jeter's going to knock it out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Farmers. 6:37 to go.
And back to that, sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Tyler, I was wondering where you're at. Thanks for joining us, though. BT's having another good defensive game for the Bombers. Got a 3 in first half. You have missed a good game, Tyler, that is for sure. Live chat's open. It's been pretty quiet in there tonight. We'd love to see that wake up a little bit. It's a good game down the stretch here. Let's get some Farmers fans and some Bombers fans into live chat and just keep it professional, so to speak. Shots off, no good for Runyon, and then Runyon's going to get the foul called as he dove into the legs of Langdon Allen. And Allen's going to come up hobbling a little bit again. Team foul number 4 on the Farmers. So it is the starters from tonight's contest on the floor for the Bombers, and it is the starters on the floor for the Farmers right now as well. So both teams have their starters in with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Nolan Kerr, the leading scorer in the game, with 14. Barnes leads the Farmers with 11. Jeter for 3. Oh. Good! A Sports Corner 3 for JT Jeter. And another timeout, a 30-second timeout this time, charged to the Farmers. This game being brought to you by Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm, Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get a quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar, is Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Big crowd at the Sports Corner watching TSSR live. Thanks for joining us, Sports Corner. We love being on the big screen at Sports Corner.
You know, it's pretty interesting. I watched a game up there. I think it was Thursday night before Thanksgiving.
Dustin Lambert says it's great to hear from the mayor of Bluffs. Barnes jumper off, no good. Ball, that's going to be Watson tipping it away from behind on Litchfield, but he got a little more than ball. It is a foul on Watson, third team foul for the Bombers. Game being brought to you by Sports Corner. And they're sponsoring the Sports Corner 3 as well. Spin. Morse puts up the shot. Off, no good. Duncan high for the rebound for the Bombers. 5:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. The pressure hasn't really hindered the Bombers a whole lot. It slowed the ball down the floor, but it's almost like the Farmers aren't pressuring in a way to get steals. Does that make any sense?
No.
Which, when you're down by 10 points, I don't understand that, but
they're just rotating the ball.
Duncan out to Langdon Allen. Langdon Allen, Jeter was like, I'm wide open, give me the ball. He comes out to get it now near the half-court circle. Jeter picked up by Barnes. Kerr with it. 4:32 remaining. Kerr is going to go right to the backside of Litchfield, and Litchfield, there is Exhibit A, why you're supposed to keep your eye on the ball and your guy, right?
Point ball, point man.
Because literally, folks, and there's a Duncan knocks it away. Literally, Litchfield almost had Kerr running up his back to make that layup, and Litchfield never knew he was there. It's kind of like a defensive back who's playing man-to-man and the quarterback takes off running, right?
Yeah. You better stay with your man till he crosses the line of scrimmage, though.
Barnes at the right elbow. He goes in. Shot's partially blocked, I think, by Jeter. Comes down and does Kerr with it. And Langdon Allen walks it up. Watson gets across half court with 3:50 remaining. Bombers lead by, they've got 13 up there. I've got a point off somewhere apparently, so I'll put 43-31. Jeter misses his first shot in quite some time. Morse goes the other way, and he puts the layup up and in. 43-33. Bombers lead by 10 with 3:30 remaining. Lynn Dunk says she's watching from a recliner again. Or Lynn is watching from the recliner. Thank you. It makes us sound better when we have Kelly on, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
43-33, 3:05 remaining in the basketball game. Jeter had Barnes trailing, but he was open. Watson tries the sports corner three. It's off, no good.
Got to think, too.
I don't know if it did. See, it's still shaking. The back one shakes, the front one doesn't. I couldn't tell if the back one was already shaking because the ball hit the rim or if the ball actually hit it.
You might be correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw the same thing you did. Watson with it. But I'm also with you. I think I would try to find. Jeter's going to try another one. That one's no good. Kerr with the rebound. He gets it out to Watson. Morse comes out to guard him, and Watson drives right by. Duncan pull-up baseline jumper. Good from about 12 feet. Duncan has 12 points, all in the second, or 10 of them in the second half. And a steal. Langdon Allen comes back the other way with it.
Yeah, 10 of them in the second half.
Kerr has 16. 11 for Jeter, and Watson has 3. I'm telling you, the Bombers keep. Oh, there's another. That time it was Duncan.
Somebody was bobbing while the other one was weaving.
Yep, that happens occasionally. Now another timeout. Charge to the Farmers. It's a full timeout.
You know, the play of Duncan and Jeter in the second half has really opened this up. And you know, that's what you want to see. Just like we talked about the play of Nolan Kerr. You know, everybody in this part of the state knows that Connor Watson's the go-to man for the Bombers.
Right.
And he's had a couple rough outings. But the big thing is that the other guys are picking things up for him.
Yeah, they're stepping up, right?
Yes.
And if they continue to do that, this team's only going to get better.
Oh, without a doubt.
It kind of reminds me now the difference is Watson's on the floor, but it kind of reminds me what happened for Southeastern last year when Danny Stevens got hurt, right?
Yeah.
They came up and the kids played well and only lost a game or two without him on the floor, and that made them only better when he came back. When Watson starts hitting, it's not if Watson starts hitting, when Watson starts hitting, these Bombers are going to be even better than they are right now.
Yeah, and the other guys just need to keep playing well.
As we get ready to go here, 2:03 remaining. It's a 12-point lead for the Bombers. Rankin gives it off to Runyon, who goes down to Barnes. 3 on the way by Litchfield, short. Jeter out jumps Barnes and tips it to Duncan, and Jeter will bring it up now. 1:40 remaining. Duncan now tries to drive, bounces back out. Watson to Jeter, 1:30 remaining. Duncan's going to back it back out. I mean, you don't have to shoot here, obviously, with 1:23 remaining. And there's so many fouls to give. You waste most of this time if you can just keep a hold of the basketball, waiting for them to foul. I don't think they're going to at this point, are they? Oh, there they do.
There it is. And the big thing that you need to look into that is going to bring a conversation up when you talk about this, 24-second clock.
Yeah. Or 35-second clock.
Yeah, or whatever they're looking at.
They're bringing 5 subs in. Looks like the Farmers, for lack of a better term, are conceding.
Well, it's a 12-point ball game with 1:13 left.
Yeah, you never fouled or nothing to try to. Want to welcome Maddie Votter, says watching Caden Runyon and her little bro. Thanks for joining us, Katie. We appreciate that. Holdhouse, Wilson, Lindsey May, Steven Stufflebeam,
and Hunter Wilson.
And Hunter Kendrick and Hunter Wilson are both out there. I said Wilson the first time, didn't say
did
Kendrick.
You?
Yeah. You are correct, though. Flauser, excuse me. 35 seconds remaining. Tanner Kinney, excuse me. Stiffelbeam nearly with the steal. If you didn't watch the Bombers girls game last night, Sarah Stiffelbeam deserves a shout out. She had 18 last night.
Good for Sarah.
And Haley Emmerich had 13 in the win over BPC. So
good job by both those girls.
Kind of the same thing. If they start finding some scoring from somebody besides Ainsley Holthouse, they might be pretty hard to deal with too.
You're absolutely right.
There's number 12, Russell Poore with it. Ryan Barton is out there. Also number 32, Sam Gronwald, and that's how this one's going to end. 45-33 the final. The Bombers get the win over Farmington. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back here with some stats and a word from Coach Anderson in just a few minutes on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. You've been watching Arnold Brothers coverage of Macomb Bomber Sports. We'll be right back. It's a final, 45-33. Bombers get the win.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MDH Sport Medicine and Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
And welcome back. Macomb High School Bombers 45-33 winners over the Farmington Farmers. Dwayne Hulett, Kelly Sears with you. Kyle Little up on the camera. And that game, I don't know. I really don't know what I was expecting, but that game just ended. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just was close, and then it just ended. I mean, there was no fouls. There was no heated anything at the end. It just
you looked at the clock, and there was 4 minutes left, and then you looked back at the clock, and the buzzer was going off. As you said, what are they doing putting their players in? And there was a minute left, and they're down by 12.
Yeah.
So
they never did. It just, usually in a game like that, if it's starting to get away, you start trying something. You start fouling at 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
They never fouled. In fact, I think the only foul was really to get the subs in.
Yeah. You're exactly right, when Barnes grabbed a hold of him out there.
But at the same time, they also had themselves in a position. You thirsty up there, kid? Oh.
Doing the right thing.
He was. That's why we try to get him to be a bigger part of what we're doing here. He's a good kid.
Sorry. I'm not getting busy or I'm working.
We're talking. You want to talk? Do you want to talk? No, you don't want to talk? We can. We're live on air. We can make you talk.
They can hear you.
They can hear you. Yeah, we're live right now. You want to talk? Are you sure? Oh, it's that kind of night.
No,
but
man.
At any rate, I like I said, you just don't see games end like that very often.
No,
when they were that close throughout most of the game, usually towards the end, they're trying to do something to get themselves back in it, and it never seemed like that happened.
Yeah, and the play of Jeter and Duncan in the third quarter is what elevated. I mean, JT Jeter just came out of his, like came out of his shell. All of a sudden, boom,
Right.
he was there. And if the Bombers can get that play from him every night, besides, his defense is fabulous, but get some offensive production out of him, 10, 12 points a night, that's going to be huge. And that also takes the load off of Connor Watson.
Yeah, and, Connor Watson's just standing back saying, everybody says I have to score. Look at this. We almost beat QD, and I didn't score, and we beat Farmington relatively handily, and I didn't have to score much. When he starts scoring, this team's going to be – because he's still getting his looks.
Yeah, and Nolan Kerr.
Yeah.
Nolan Kerr was leading scorer with 16 points tonight.
2 games in a row, 14 against QD and 16 tonight. He's just looking for his shot now.
Yeah, and he's putting the ball on the floor and going to the hole.
Yeah,
and getting some very good looks.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know, it's a different Bombers team these last couple of games, but man, they look, even though they lost on Saturday, they look like a better team like this almost. I mean, and it's just kind of crazy to me. But you got some leading scorers?
Yeah, I got them all right down here. Connor Watson with 3, JT Jeter with 11, Langdon Allen with 3, Nolan Kerr with 16, and Jack Duncan with 12. Rankin had 3 for the Farmers. Litchfield had 2. Runyon had 3. Moyes had 12. Barnes had 11. And Wisen had 3.
So, and the other thing that I don't think we can talk, discredit any is the job that Jeter did on Barnes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite obvious that Farmington wanted Barnes to be the center of their attention. It felt like to me, and Jeter just didn't let that happen.
And giving up about 3 to 4 inches to him also.
Oh, easy. Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And I just don't I don't think you say enough about the defense of this Bomber squad.
Yeah, very good defense. And that's another thing that we talked about, the defense of Nolan Kerr, and then all of a sudden Nolan's just flipped it, and he's got on the offensive side.
Hey, Kyle, you want to come talk for a second? Come down here, Kyle. We'll get Kyle. We got the extra microphone hooked up. Kyle is our newest member of the, I'm going to call it a dream team. It's not really a dream team, but
it's pretty close.
Kyle is a freshman, right, at Western?
Yep.
So you're going to start helping us and do some play-by-play hopefully at some point, right?
Hopefully at some point. That's what I'm here to do.
So you ran the camera tonight. That's a long ways up there, isn't it?
It is pretty high up there. The student section was getting pretty hyped during the game, but it was fun to say. It was a good game, actually.
Well, you are a West Hancock graduate.
I am, yep.
And one of the 2 losses that Macomb have had is to West Hancock. West Hancock's got a pretty storied history of basketball, don't they?
Yeah, that's for sure.
And the Bombers kind of trying to do that same kind of thing. So what is, you're a broadcasting major?
Yep, sports broadcasting to be specific.
Sports broadcasting. Kelly, you got any helpful hints as a former coach or a 35-year radio analyst?
The biggest thing is, don't talk to them in the heat of the battle, all right? Don't stuff that microphone in their face right after. But, the biggest thing is just to get to be friends with all the coaches. And I will tell you that I've coached in 3 different states and so forth, and the best sports guy, bar none, for
me?
TV is Chris Durr.
Chris is fantastic.
I am going to tell you. And you want to know something else? Ben Marth was very good too.
Yes,
when he was here at he's still around here. But those 2 guys,
half price apps at Sports Corner.
Ooh, there you go.
Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to point that out. They announced it in the live chat. Half price apps only at Sports Corner tonight after the game only.
Might have to break Johnny then, huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I'm gonna go up to Sports Corner after the game.
But
you gonna go with us?
I might have to do that. The biggest thing is that take some lessons from those guys, and those guys will talk to you. I mean, but Chris is phenomenal, and everybody knows that. And the other thing is you have to be able to drive. and drive fast, okay? Because you got to get from one point to another. A lot of ball games to cover.
He was at Chris Dewar's at 5 games a night. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But, and I will tell you that it used to be a lot of guys got into journalism and doing the sports writing. That's almost a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And so, this right here, what Dwayne's doing is the wave of the future. And, the biggest thing is I look for people to even start doing AAU games and all that type stuff, and college coaches getting on here and start looking and finding players.
That's going to be our next thing, actually. We've had some people ask us to do softball already.
I don't know much about that.
You don't know. What do you know about softball? Kelly here
he didn't coach it or anything.
He went to state in softball. He won a state championship right in Arizona or Arkansas or whatever. Arizona in basketball. And Coach Anderson's here. Go ahead, Coach. Steal the microphone away from Kyle. Is our new. This is Kyle, by the way. He's one of our new guys.
Kyle, nice to meet you, Coach. Good to see you. Been a while.
Hey, I'm the luck man. I come along for the luck ride. Hey,
I'm glad you're here.
Great ball game tonight.
We played some defense tonight.
Yes.
After we got off to kind of a shaky start with kind of not knowing our responsibilities there for a little bit. Then once we hunkered down, we executed the game plan pretty well. They have two pretty high-profile scorers, number 24 and 22, and so we're very fortunate that we have 2 or 3 guys this year that can guard, like Nolan and JT and Langdon. They can guard you, and so that's huge.
Who knew JT was? We talk about Langdon and Nolan all the time. JT's a pretty decent little defender too.
Well, Brock knew from last year in the JV game. See, that Barnes kid played JV last year, and JT did a really good job on him over there that night. And so Brock remembered all that and said, that's probably going to be your best bet. And, of course, with Ian not being here, Ian going home sick from school today, that really put us in a short bench situation. So I thought some of our guys really, really stepped up and kind of sucked it up, as they say, and executed well second half offensively a few times. But, man, defense and rebound I thought was key.
Nolan Kerr just continues to improve, doesn't he?
It's fun to watch, isn't it? It's fun to watch him kind of blossom. We always have known in practices that he's got the ability, and now his confidence is starting to rise too. So it's really fun to see, and we're going to need him. We're going to need him to do that as the season goes forward to keep stepping up like that.
And that's what I was saying. Nolan, Saturday night played very well. Again tonight played very well. But the big thing in the second half, as we were talking earlier, Connor Watson's going to get his points. Hey, he's had a couple bad nights and people are like, well, what's the deal? Well, you don't know what's going on with him. Hey, and sometimes when you're not hitting, you just try harder and harder
right.
and still don't fall. And, but the big thing I was impressed with is not only JT's ability on the defensive side of the court, but in the third quarter, the shots he hit.
Right.
And Jack Duncan.
Jack played really well inside tonight, too.
Played well, took the ball to the hole, and
he's just so crafty.
Yeah.
Right? He's so instinctively in the right place so often.
Yeah.
And does a nice job of using his body and has confidence that he can make those shots. And that's the kind of the fun thing about those kids that played a long time together, right, since they were 4th, 5th grade or whatever. And it's fun for them to put that all into perspective now and enjoy the rewards. So I hope we can keep it going. The schedule is still pretty tough. We got some really tough games between now and the holiday tournament, so it's we're going to have to keep working at it for sure.
You and I have talked about you needed to find where some points could come from that weren't Connor Watson.
Yeah.
You found, you didn't find quite enough on Saturday night, but you found some on Saturday night. You found a bunch tonight. I likened this before you came up here to last year when Danny Stevens got hurt at Southeastern. All their points are gone.
Right.
Suddenly all these guys step up and start scoring points. Now Connor's still playing, and he's playing some pretty good defense. Yeah. But when you guys can prove to yourselves that you can score when he doesn't, or you can win when he doesn't score, that's only going to make you better when he is scoring, right?
I think so. And then once we hopefully at some point in time can get a set group of rotation where we're not missing this guy tonight. We're missing that guy. Unfortunately, JT didn't even start practicing with us until one night before the Geneseo game, and so we haven't had everybody there to, okay, this is kind of how we're going to run offense. We've been kind of piecemealing it together. Once we get that group together, then we can run more sets for Connor because they're going to be all over him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to have to help him get to those spots to get those open shots, which we will once we get everybody, on the same page. But, yeah, it's really nice to see some of these other guys step up, just their confidence level. Nolan and JT tonight, Jack, Langdon even. Langdon's not lacking for confidence either, and he'll make some plays for us also.
He shoots the ball a little bit, but he's really good defensively, too.
Oh, yeah. And he told me today in class, I said, hey, you got to be ready for the Farmers? And he's like, Coach, I'm always ready to guard the other team's best player. That's the kind of thing that you want to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, you got a busy weeks leading up here to the holiday tournament.
Yeah. Kewanee at home, and then that following week we have a really good Mercer County team comes here. And then we have Liberty, and then we're going to play that Scales Mound up at the Abingdon Shootout on that Saturday too.
So we talked about, you're testing yourselves, right? You won 5 in a row. You tested yourself. You had a test tonight, and you answered the test. You gave yourself a passing grade. I'd say you passed the test tonight, obviously. As you move forward in all these tests, because, you're not getting a 2 or 3 game easier kind of group team now here. So every game becomes a test. Does that change how you do things here as you're trying to prepare and get better?
I think each game is different and unique because of the offense that you're going to face, right? Like tonight, there's 2 high-profile scorers, and so you got to try to load everything up against them. Well, the next time you play like a Peoria Christian looking down the road, we know their personnel from last year, and they're very balanced, right? And they're really going to be a fast-breaking type of team, and so it completely changes how you have to prepare. For me, that's what keeps it fresh, and practicing. Okay, now this is what we're going to have to try to do this game. And this is, like against Kewanee coming up, they play almost exclusively 1-3-1 zone defense. Well, we haven't seen any 1-3-1 yet this year, right? We haven't even talked about it in practice. So starting tomorrow, it brings up something new. And so I think we have a mature group of guys that will be able to do that, right? Move on to the next thing. And
you also don't want to forget what you did in the past.
Oh, right. Because very good. Because Mercer County, from what I saw, is running the exact same stuff that QND did.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that should make it a little easier to at least recognize. Right? I'm not saying you can stop it, but recognize it when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you talk about the zone, and I noticed you guys struggled most tonight, I felt like, offensively against their 2-3, which was, the base of their 2-3 was out to the baseline of the volleyball
right,
court.
Yeah, they were really extending.
They extended it way. Everybody was. It wasn't just the front 2. Everybody was extended out. Do you feel like that like the slow start maybe was because of that and getting the feel for it?
Absolutely. And then we had to change kind of what we were running against it because they were extended it so much. And so, I definitely think that kind of gave us fits early.
I don't know. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody extend one that far.
Well,
there was nobody back at the basket.
I can remember some of Wiersba's teams when he had the Watznowers and the Gadeckis, and remember the twin Welker boys, and they were 6'7", and their longs were, their arms were so long. They would extend, and they would really be a trouble to get in those passing lanes. So you don't see it a lot, though, that's for sure.
Well, Coach, I don't know. Kelly, you got anything else for him?
No, congratulations. Great ball game. And,
it's always nice to get one at home. It's always nice to get one against the Farmers.
One last thing from me. Did the end of that game sneak up on you?
It did.
Okay. Because I said to Kelly, I'm like, aren't they going to foul? Or
it went. I think it went from 7 minutes to 2:05.
Yeah, like that fast, right?
Yes, because I looked back up again. I was like, but I kept expecting. He called a couple timeouts, and we kept talking about, okay, now he's going to press. Now he's going to turn. He's going to come and trap, and they never really did.
That's what I said too.
So,
it's like they just, and then all of a sudden they just conceded.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know how many team fouls they had.
They were way short.
They had like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I agree with that because it did sneak up on me.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel so bad now. Well, Coach, thanks for coming.
I looked at the clock, and it was like 4:30, and the next time I looked, it was like a minute, and they're bringing everybody in the game.
And they're subbing,
No fouls and no nothing.
Right.
No.
Hey, I was okay with that.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we'll get out of here.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Coach.
you.
We appreciate it. That was Coach Anderson talking to us on the post-game show. Well, Kelly, thanks for joining me. We need to do this more often.
Yep, and you just let me know.
Okay. Well, Sports Corner half-price appetizers. I'm heading there as soon as I get tore down.
Sounds like a plan. I may have to sneak up. Some of us got to get up bright and early and go to work tomorrow.
I got to get work when I get home. What are you talking about? So for Kelly Sears, for Kyle, for everybody here, this has been an Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling presentation of Bomber Sports on TSSR Game Time Live. 45-33. Bombers get the win. We'll be back Thursday night, Friday night, Wednesday night, Saturday. All kinds of basketball and wrestling and everything coming your way here on TSSR Game Time Live. We'll see you soon.